Peace, peace. What's going on, YouTube? Back at it again. Welcome to He Got Credit. I'm your host, Brother Najee. In today's video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of personal credit. Okay? The pros and cons of personal credit and how it can get you in the hole and how you can benefit from it. Okay? So, understand something, right? Whenever you apply for something, say as a mortgage, a car note, a credit card, whatever, right? You're applying for debt, okay? You are applying for debt. And the reason why I'm telling you you're applying for debt is because anytime you use credit for something, 9 times out of 10 in America, you don't have the cash for it. So your credit backs you along with a little bit of cash that you put up to finance in order to get the loan, okay, for whatever it is that you may need. And if not pertaining to a credit card so much. When you apply for a credit card, you just using 100% credit. But if you swipe the credit card and you use it, yes, you have to pay that money back. All right. We're talking about in terms of as far as a mortgage, a car, stuff like that. Okay. So understand that you are applying and signing up for debt, large amounts of debt at that, okay? And it could be a pro to you, it could be a con to you, depending on the person, whoever is applying for, and what you're willing to do, what you're doing with the property, the car, or whatever the case might be, whatever you're applying for. So, in instance, if you're buying a home, if you're getting a mortgage on a home, and you're financing it, and let's say you're not making any money on it because you just plan on living in it for 30 years, 20 years, whatever the case might be, you may look at it as, well, it's not a liability to me because I need a roof to stay. I need a roof over my head to stay. And, I need a place to put my children or whatever the case might be, right? Or you could look at it as, well, it's an asset to me because I'm going to Airbnb it. I'm going to use it as a rental property. I'm going to pass it down to my children for generational wealth. Whatever the case might be, it just depends on what you're getting that property, that car, or personal loan, or whatever the case might be for. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, everybody needs a place to stay. Everyone needs a roof over their head, and depending on what city and state you live in, 9 times out of 10 you need a car, right? Same thing goes for a car. Whenever you go get a car, uh, usually in America, you're not paying cash for a car unless it's a used car and it's very cheap, or even if it's an expensive car, you're probably not going to pay cash for it. Most people don't pay cash; they use credit, right? You're signing up for debt, okay? And whenever you sign up for debt, you have to pay it back, and usually it's on top of interest, right? So getting a vehicle, getting a house, or whatever else big purchases you try to do, you are signing up for debt. All right. Now, this debt can turn into an asset for you to have consistent cash flow. It could be you might be buying the property to take equity out to fund another business or a project or something like that, or even getting a car. You might want to put it on Toro. You might want to rent it out to people. You know what I'm saying? As far as depending on type of car, they might want to use it for photo shoots, weddings, birthdays, proms, whatever the case might be. These things can turn into assets and money makers for you. All right. So the term of there's good debt and bad debt, it all applies to those depending on what you're doing with the debt. Okay. Now, not saying that, not everybody's going to have a business mind to say, oh, well, I'm going to get this house to fix it and flip it, or I'm going to get this house to pull all the equity out and then get another house, or I'm going to Airbnb it. Some people just want to get a house, live in it, live comfortably, grow their family in it, and live life, work their jobs or whatever the case might be, or run their business from their home. And that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then you have the other person that's saying, well, I want to fix it and flip it. I want to Airbnb it. I want to pull all the equity out of it and get another property, and then Airbnb the one I have, and that one pay for the new property that I'm getting. Or they could just rent it out to a single family, every month, and get a monthly stream of income. It just all depends on what you plan on doing once you accumulate these assets, or some people might call it a liability. But it all depends, you know what I'm saying? Like the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. In this case, it all depends on what you do with that asset or liability. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with accumulating debt. It's just being responsible with that debt and making sure you have the means to cover that debt. All right. And like I said, 9 times out of 10 here in America, you're not going to pay cash for a home. It's just what it is. I don't know too many people that have 300, 400, $500,000 just sitting around to where they could just cash out on a house or even cash out on a not really nice car. We're talking 40, 50, 60, 70, $100,000 cars. Most of the time people are financing or leasing, you know, or and then like I said, the people are financing homes and getting mortgages and getting 30-year terms with low interest rates because right now the market is is buy and sell, and it's up and down, So keep in mind that whenever you do get your credit right, your scores right and everything like that, don't go crazy, don't go berserk. Have a plan in place to say, well, you know what? I got my credit scores to where I need them to be. Now I want to get a home. All right, I want to move out this apartment or this townhouse or this condo or whatever the case, whatever you're living in, and I want to get a home. Oops, the phone's going off. I want to get a home. I want to get a 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 5-bedroom, whatever you desire, and I want to move my family into that, into something bigger, more comfortable, and something that we can grow into, right? And then once you get the home, now your monthly payment for your home will be probably more cheaper than what you were renting in. Because usually when you rent, you pay a little bit more money. But once you mortgage, you get a lower interest rate, and you lock in the interest rate, and then the mortgage will be very low, depending on how much money you put down, depending on how your credit scores look, and depending on the interest rate. All right, so there's a couple of things that factor into that. Same thing goes for a car. Same thing goes for a car. Credit scores right, interest rate low, down payment, if you have to put down one, depending on your credit scores, you might not have to, or you might. These things are all going to factor in whenever you get in these assets and you getting these things, and whether you're turning them into assets to where they're producing income for you every day or every month, or if you deem it as a liability and you're just like, well, I just want a new car just because, or I just want a new house just because, So keep in mind that debt is what runs this country. Debt is what runs this country, and debt is the reason why a lot of the stuff that you see around us is built off of credit and financing. All right, from commercial properties to residential properties, it's all debt. Okay. Not too many people are buying skyscrapers cash. Not too many people are buying commercial buildings cash. This stuff is financed through EIN numbers and Social Security numbers and a little bit of funding from and backing of capital from different people. All right. So keep in mind whenever you're applying for things, don't go berserk. Don't go crazy. Okay. Apply for something, get approved. Okay. Deal with that 3-4 months. Then apply for something else. Okay? Then apply for something else. Don't go crazy out there just applying for stuff out the blue and just wilding out just because you got a good credit score. Because that good credit score can plummet really fast when you rack up a bunch of inquiries and then you're missing payments because you didn't apply for 5 cars and 3 houses, and it can get real wild. Okay? So just be careful, be mindful, have a plan in place, and understand how credit and debt works in America. Because in school, they're not going to teach you this stuff. They're not going to teach you and tell you about credit and debt, financing, mortgaging, leasing, and how banks work and everything like that. They're not going to tell you these things. So it's pretty much setting you up for failure. You know what I'm saying? Because your parents are supposed to teach you this stuff because they know. But depending on what type of household you come from, you're usually not taught this stuff. But I'm here to tell you that credit is all a game, okay? America is a big business. It's business at the end of the day, and if you don't know how to conduct business in America, what you don't know, you will pay for, okay? And it will come at a high cost, depending on what it is, obviously. So just keep that in mind and be mindful, okay? Be mindful. Have a plan, be strategic, move diligently, and move intelligently. All right? I'm not going to keep you guys any more longer. It's a beautiful day outside. I just wanted to touch on this video about credit and debt and how these things come about as far as being orchestrated and conducted and planned out due to the way it's financed, and how you can benefit from it and how it could plummet and put you in the hole, because you don't want to be in the hole, okay? You don't want to be in the hole because it sucks, all right? You don't want to be there. So I'm not going to hold you guys. You guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning into my channel. If you need to follow me on social media, hit me up on Instagram at HeGotJs23. You can follow me on Twitter at HeGotCredit, Snapchat HeGotCredit, my website HeGotCredit.net. And if you need authorized user trade lines, just call or text 405-441-3276. Again, that's 405-441-3276. I'm out. Peace.